Okay, so let's just dive right in. When you think of Japan, there's a really good chance this is the image that pops into your head. It's gotta be one of the most iconic, most photographed views in the whole country, right? You've got Mount Fuji, the stunning Chirito Pagoda, and just this explosion of cherry blossoms. It is, for all intents and purposes, picture perfect. But here's the puzzle we're gonna unpack today. The local city, Fuji, just went and canceled its famous cherry blossom festival. So what on earth could go so wrong in a place that looks so right? And this right here is the heart of the story. On one hand, you have the image, that flawless, serene picture that gets millions of likes online. But on the other hand, you've got this harsh reality. A festival that's been a community staple for a decade is suddenly just gone. This isn't just about a canceled event, you know? It's really a story about a small town struggle against a massive global problem. And it was all kicked off by this one unbelievable view. So what happened? What was the cause? Well, the issue wasn't the festival itself. It was the insane number of people that started showing up. Thanks to a weaker yen that made traveling to Japan a lot cheaper, and yep, you guessed it, viral posts all over social media, this once quiet park was hit by what you can only describe as a tourism tsunami. And this chart, wow, this really shows you just how extreme the situation got. For a decade, the city was handling about 200,000 visitors, but that was spread out over a whole month. Manageable. But now, they're seeing close to 10,000 people every single day. Think about that. The entire month's crowd is basically trying to cram into a single weekend. The local infrastructure just couldn't keep up. No way. And if you want to know what that surge actually feels like for the people on the ground, this is it. The demand for that one perfect photo, that single Instagram shot, it got so intense that people were waiting in line for up to 3 hours. 3 hours for one picture. That was a massive red flag that things had really hit a breaking point. But here's the thing we often forget. Behind every one of those viral photos, there's a community. And while all the tourists saw this beautiful, peaceful scene, the people who actually live in Fuji, they were experiencing something completely different. For them, that viral fame turned into a daily battle against noise, crowds, and a very real threat to their everyday lives. City officials were reporting that tourists were just walking into private homes looking for a bathroom, or even just relieving themselves in people's yards. And when residents would confront them, some would get aggressive. But maybe the worst part of all, parents were reporting that their own kids were getting pushed aside on narrow school routes by crowds rushing to get their photos. This was all summed up perfectly by the city's mayor, Shigeru Horiuchi. He said, and I quote, "I feel a deep sense of crisis. The quiet lives of our citizens are being threatened." You can just hear the weight of that in his words. This decision wasn't about being anti-tourist. It was about protecting his community. You know, this whole situation actually has a name. It's a phenomenon called over-tourism. And it is definitely not just happening in Fuji. This is a global issue, hitting famous places from Kyoto all the way to Venice. It's a very modern problem with some very real and very serious consequences. So what exactly is over-tourism? Well, it's that tipping point. It's the moment when all the benefits of tourism get completely outweighed by the harm it's causing. It's when a place starts to get damaged, its environment, its culture, and especially the quality of life for the people who actually call it home. In Fuji, the city had to weigh the economic boost against the safety of its citizens, and in the end, they felt like they had no other choice but to cancel the festival. But here's the catch. Canceling the festival doesn't exactly cancel the cherry blossoms. The city knows the crowds are still going to show up. You can't just flip a switch and turn off a viral hotspot. So now, their whole strategy has had to shift from promoting this beautiful spot to basically just trying to manage it. So instead of planning a big party, the city is now in full-on crowd control mode. They're bringing in a lot more security, they're setting up temporary parking lots, and they're installing way more portable toilets. All of this is a massive effort to try and shield the residential neighborhoods from the immense pressure of the crowds they know are still coming. At the end of the day, this whole situation brings up a much bigger question for all of us. The story of Fuji isn't just about one small town, right? It's about a world where a single picture on the internet can completely overwhelm a real place filled with real people. It kind of forces us all to think about our own impact when we travel. So, in this age where we're all chasing that perfect, iconic image to share with the world, this story really forces us to stop and ask, what is the real cost of that photo?
not just for us, the traveler, but for the communities that are still there long after we've packed up and gone home. It's definitely something to think about the next time we point our cameras.